What's up, you sexy beast? This is the Horny Go Back with Wrestling Memories. This is the show where we actually review the Monday Night Monday Night Wars featuring Raw and Nitro. Are you guys ready? Of course, we got JP, who usually does this shit.
I am ready.
We got Mike Bobbitt. What's up, baby?
What's up, you sexy beast?
And Trek, the Hitman. That's it. That's all I got.
What the fuck would...
All right, Trek, silence is golden. Keep it that way. All right, who remembers where we were last? It was a pay-per-view, was it not?
Yes, it was In Your House.
It's In Your House.
In Your House number 3. Now, they started naming them, like, In Your House, Beware the Dog here soon. I think 96 they did. But, yeah, it was In Your House number 3. The main event was... Yokozuna and... well, it turned out being Yokozuna and fucking British Bulldog versus Shawn Michaels and Diesel, but it ended with Owen Hart taking the pin at the end, which, and I agree, makes no sense. Hopefully we get an explanation as to why it happened, but we're going to watch Nitro first. They're coming off of a pay-per-view from 2 weeks prior. I don't exactly remember what happened the week before. I'd have to go back and look. But we will go from there. That's what
I swear I had notes somewhere. I don't know where the fuck they are anymore. But yeah, let's get this motherfucker started. I'm ready. It's who cares? We'll figure it out.
Yep. So we're watching Nitro first, everybody. We're at zeros.
September 25th, 1995.
September 25th, 1995. And at this time, Nitro and Raw were on at the exact same time. I think Nitro started like a minute earlier or something like that, or 5 minutes earlier.
But are the shows still the same in length? Have they changed anything?
Yes, no, they don't change until middle of 96, I think.
Okay, we should still give people a bit of time to catch up if we just mentioned the time frame and shit. But maybe they already have it queued. Who knows?
The show is actually 44 minutes and 59 seconds long without commercial. So.
I hope we get a Sabu match. That's all I'm saying.
I think Sabu was released after.
That one match, like this can't happen again. I'm sorry.
Eric
the
Bischoff
whole match was Sabu versus
Eric Bischoff actually did not like it because he didn't. Yeah, it's Sabu.
He wrestled inanimate objects instead of the actual person he was in the ring with.
I know. He drop kicks fucking tables and chairs and shit.
All right. I think we're good to go. You want to count it?
Sure. And we'll count back from 3 like usual. It's not like when I start the stream. In 3, 2, 1, go. And we're stopping.
And we're restarting. Fucking guy.
Raw actually. No, well, not. They didn't do an Really, they didn't do an opening like Nitro did until Nitro did their opening. So WWE at this time, WWE follows, they don't lead, but they do what Nitro did, and they do it better because their entrance, their opening is a little bit better than Nitro's was. That people remembered, like during the Attitude Era, what their opening was.
But I remember our takeaway from the last events were that WWE kind of like focused on the younger talent, which meant their in-ring was a bit quicker and less dependent on existing names.
Right.
That fucking dog is so beautiful.
It's got a saddle on it. It's fucking nice.
Why does it have a saddle? There's literally nothing that could ride upon it. I don't even think it can hold itself up. His legs are like quivering horribly.
I don't remember if Bischoff talked about the dog.
I don't think he did.
Now, Keenan did more.
How about 83
in 83 weeks? I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember him mentioning Bob.
Having some audio struggles here.
Das Wonder Kid.
Good God.
This guy
It's
is
Will
actually,
Ospreay.
this guy is actually really good in the ring.
And we've seen him once already, right? I swear we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, but he was
We
in
get
a,
Sabu.
I think he lost, if I remember right.
No, he lost to Sabu with this initially, and then Sabu got himself disqualified, so they overturned.
Anyway, this guy was
Thumbs up. That guy was awesome.
this guy's a baby face. Oh, here
There
comes.
you go, basement.
Here you go.
Oh, here we go. Disco Inferno.
What the fuck?
It's
Fucking
Disco
amazing.
Inferno.
He
Boogie
was
Nights.
amazing in WCW Revenge. WCW Nitro Revenge. Whatever the fuck the game was called for N64.
War games?
Yeah.
No, it was called Revenge, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the one. Oh yeah,
video game.
yeah. The one where he. Yeah,
Oh.
that one was.
As like you had to show off to build your special meter. So this guy would just fucking run around doing disco shit constantly. And then inevitably get his ass kicked because his show off was too long.
So who's the bad guy? Who's the heel? Who's the face? And
Aren't they both?
It's Disco.
These?
it's Disco.
He was pretty much always the bad guy. Just because he was just
That-
horrible.
But he had a fucking baby face fucking gimmick. I don't understand.
It was
He
just
was the
outside
one-
of the era. And it was just looked at as like a fucking loser, I guess. I don't know.
He
He wasn't
Does
that
his
bad.
ass really say "shake your booty"?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's goddamn Disco fucking Inferno.
Look at him
He
go.
said himself.
Hold on. Go ahead, Heather.
He said himself on a podcast that he brought the idea to WCW because he just wanted to have fun, and he thought this would be fun. That's why it was the babyface gimmick.
Yeah, but he's a heel.
Yes, I know.
That was a terrible.
That was.
Straight here.
Has like a leg press. What the fuck that was?
Overselling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at him. He's fucking epilepsy in the middle of the ring.
Or over the top selling. And then you got fucking Nick Patrick with his 45-second 3 count.
Yep. Oh, look like he hit his head on the rail there.
Who cares?
Alex Ritter is like, you can tell he's like, if he was in wrestling, like if he was wrestling nowadays
Yes.
at this age, he would have been like one of those premier athlete guys.
Yes.
Because for this time, you can tell he's a premier athlete.
That was, good God, terrible.
Yeah, that whole sequence. This is a good match. Disco Inferno.
I know last week me and Basement became the tag team champions.
Yeah, American male.
Yeah.
Even though it's not necessarily true, I'm not American, but I will be for you. Disco Inferno, like, does he not like? This is the type of thing I see when I see No Way Jose,
Yes.
and it's a gimmick
Yes.
that just never actually gets over. You might have like a hot run for a couple months, but then they're that gimmick for like 6 years.
Yeah.
It's like a gimmick. He's more of a gimmick than he is anything else.
And he always
Yes.
was.
I think everybody in WCW was a gimmick.
Yeah, they were heavily gimmicked.
WWE right now is heavily. At this time, they are heavily gimmicked.
They're kind of transitioning, I feel like.
Right. Well, WCW will transition here very soon. It's going to be like
As soon as Scott Hall shows us.
yes, which is May,
That's what it was.
April or May, I think, of '96.
That was terrible. European uppercut. At least he's trying.
Yes. Well, Alex Wright could work in the ring. I think there's more disc going. He was just always out of position.
Going faster than
I feel like Alex Wright is at times trying things that are, I guess, like newer to him because it doesn't seem like he's perfected the way they should look.
No.
Because nobody else is really doing them.
Right. That was actually not a 45-second 3 count.
Mm-hmm. But that's a match that needed to end when it ended because Jesus Christ.
Right.
It was a good showcase for Alex Wright and a good get off my TV for Disco, who's also my favorite.
He ends up winning the Cruiserweight Championship, I think, soon, too.
What is this music?
That is Alex Wright's music. It's European.
What, butt sex?
I
I want to put it in your ass. Turn on my theme. This is fucking.
It's like the music. It's like the music from the movie Super Troopers when they pull over the people in the fucking.
I just want to grab a glow stick.
Whatever the fuck it is.
It's like Dutch dance or some shit.
Hulk Hogan's.
Oh my
Hulk
god!
Hogan's
Really?
benching, or what's he doing? He's
working out his broken neck. Also, why is his head so much whiter than his body?
It just looks that way because of the fucking neck brace.
And
I'm gonna say this right now: if Hulk Hogan had a real broken neck, he wouldn't be able to talk like that.
I know. They don't care. It's just a prop. Sticky Gina.
Yes, he said the giant. This big show.
Yes,
I thought he said Sticky Gina.
Hulk Hogan was squatting the championship belt on his neck.
This. I thought it was over, brother.
I'm gonna challenge you, dude.
We're gonna have a monster truck rally, and then we're gonna have a wrestling.
We're gonna have
I don't think Hogan has any like areolas.
Does it?
I can't stop looking at his nipples, man. It's killing me.
Just saying, I'm okay with a monster truck rally.
But I remember this being like notoriously remembered, not for good things.
It was horrible.
Yep.
Stuck on his head.
It wasn't a very good pay-per-view. The match itself was good to an extent.
It does not sound convincing at all.
I have to remember. No, it wasn't good. It was shit.
Yeah.
But
God, it's Cobra or whatever his name was.
The
What was that guy's name?
pay-per-view as a whole, I don't think it was bad. But we'll see. So here we've got Gene Okerlund is going to do an interview. This is what is sorely missing with wrestling today.
In-ring interviews.
In-ring interviews. They don't do in-ring interviews anymore. They used
Well, they're
to.
stupid sometimes, and they do them after the match, and the guy's like out of breath, and it's like New Japan does that all the time. It's like you can't hear what the fuck they're saying.
Right.
Well, now it's all from the gorilla position.
Well, they're missing that character, that backstage actual persona, not a Caleb Braxton or whatever her name is, or the other girl that I can't remember the name of, or Charlie, because they have no character.
Right.
I mean, Renee wasn't too bad.
Byron is better at that than he is at what he's doing now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I actually missed Sean Mooney being backstage interview.
It's like anybody that could do the manager role could do that role of the backstage interviewer, but they don't seem to.
I think
do
Todd
it.
Pettingill's the best.
Oh, he was really good.
I've always loved Mean Gene just because he had a great sense of humor.
Absolutely.
Like when the SummerSlam sign fell down.
Yeah.
I don't
Say
remember.
that 10 times fast.
The what?
The SummerSlam sign.
It's when they
fell down.
first started using monitors in the back that were like the big, flat, giant, like.
But Summer Sunny fell down.
SummerSlam sign.
Oh, the SummerSlam sign? Yeah, wait. Sounded like he said the SummerSlam when Sunny fell down. Like, what?
Well, that was every
did it first,
SummerSlam.
I thought.
On her back, you know what I'm saying?
I
More
do.
times than one.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels.
I don't want sunny side up. I want sunny side down.
Well, apparently Brett was, according to Shawn, Brett was having some sunny days.
Yeah.
That's actually, we're gonna
The
see.
chance of cum.
We're gonna see that because that's
Probably Montreal Scooter up.
it's way before Trail Skip.
There was always something about Lex Luger's face that I couldn't stand.
It's his nose.
It's like his face, his actual face is only on like 1/3 of his head. It's like too centralized. It's too centralized. He's got this gigantic forehead. He's too centralized, man.
He talks about playing with kids an awful lot.
Who talks about playing with kids?
Luger.
So what are you saying? He's a pedophile?
No, but
I'm
he
not
doesn't bring
pointing
that up.
fingers or anything, but I've seen him fuck kids.
No, but considering how family friendly Turner was, they let him bring it up an awful lot and didn't jump in there and say it might sound wrong.
You got to remember, this was back in 1995, not 2019.
The guy on the right is fucking making me like laugh my ass off when you see him hiding behind Lex Luger's back.
Yeah.
So he pops out. Surprise!
Yeah, you have to remember that back in 1995, people didn't think like that. Only just recently have people started thinking like that because of the agenda that's being put on today with fucking bullshit. Everybody's a fucking pedophile now. If you say that I like playing with kids, like I could say I like playing with my daughter.
That's pretty
I could say I like playing with my daughter. Does that make me a fucking pedophile?
No, because
I know
like
you.
random kids out of nowhere. It's like time to go to the park as a grown ass man and play with kids. Pretty sure you got something else going on.
Not necessarily. But I mean, you have to understand.
You, as a father, would be okay with some random 40-year-old dude just showing up and be like, "I like playing with your kid in the parking lot."
No. That's not what I mean. I just think I think the way people viewed things back then as compared to now, they didn't think,
It wasn't as rampant back then.
Yeah.
It wasn't as accusatory. Like everything now is like everybody's accusing somebody of anything all the time, constantly.
Like I said, if I was to say that I like playing with my daughter, I'd go, he's a pedophile. No,
I don't think that's true.
No. Well, there are people out there that would be like questioning, what did he mean by that?
Yeah, I guess you have to kind of. This is the thing. Like words have like you have to fucking think about everything you say. Like mentally.
You're walking on eggshells when you're talking about certain things, which you shouldn't have to. This guy was from New Japan.
Who is this?
They didn't show his name at the beginning. What is he, Stink Lady or what? Fucking like.
He's like, no, we hate Japanese people.
Woo!
No, I just meant because Turner was really oversensitive about stuff like
I know,
they wouldn't even.
I know what you meant, Trek.
Kurosawa.
Why I said that.
Okay.
Because there's a New Japan tournament. Or no, that was. I think that is in Starcade 95.
I think so, yes.
Yeah,
I think
so we're
so.
gonna in Starcade '95. They had a World Cup of sorts where it was WCW versus New Japan.
I love Pitbull, man. Ever since he came down from the ceiling,
Yeah.
I do not remember this guy existing at all.
I don't either,
I
and
think his character was very brief.
Oh, it's Pittman.
and
Sorry, my bad.
he's a baby face now because he's fighting a guy from Japan.
I don't even think he ever got repackaged. Oh, good God. Ugh. Okay. Now I realize why I don't remember him.
He's terrible.
What was that? I could fucking compress my spine. Doing headbutts like that, not even gonna hurt anybody. But when we watched him, he was at the pay-per-view. He wasn't that bad. Like,
No.
he didn't do these fucking headbutts. If I don't recall though. Actually, I feel like
he
he
was
did.
in the ring with somebody that was pretty much his equal in ring. Anybody from New Japan was better than anybody here. In a lot of ways.
I don't know about that because
Let's see.
Ric Flair was one of the best in the world. He still was one of the best in the world at the time.
But it's different styles too. If you think about that.
Like, I don't know who was the champion.
God, he's exposing the concrete. He fucking hates Pittman for no reason.
I don't know who was the champion for the IW for New Japan at the time. But
That's gonna sting.
New Japan had a working relationship with WCW for a little bit.
That's very good.
They just called him Pitbull. What the fuck is his name?
Craig Pittman?
Sergeant
Why'd they call him
Craig
Pitbull?
Pitbull Pittman.
Pitbull Pittman.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
This is one of those times where you can actually shorten the guy's name, for fuck's sakes.
It is.
WWE, where are you?
Yep.
Sergeant Pittman.
Sergeant Craig Pittman. But his friends call him Pitbull.
Well, that's his full name. That's his full name. But they do. I've heard them shorten his name. See, they didn't have to shorten names back then because they would let the announcers did it themselves. So you didn't really need to shorten the name.
If you had a moniker that people...
Then the commentators sat there and just called him whatever was easiest for them.
Yeah.
This is why, like, Roman Reigns, and they call him the big dog, is, like, what I would prefer most things to be. Where it's, like, you have a moniker and the announcers call you by that when they want to, but you actually have a wrestling name.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be for everybody, but, like, at the same time... doesn't mean you have to, like, if Roman Reigns became the big dog and that was his wrestling name, I think I'd throw up all over the place.
Right. Another.
You guys gotta stop with those fucking headbutts, I swear to God. Legend be told, Craig Pittman always wanted to be shorter.
I know, right?
The dramatization of the fucking monster truck.
It's that's the whole centric of the fucking pay-per-view.
It's the gimmick of the pay-per-view is what they're basing the whole feud on.
Yep. But the monster truck, it didn't, because they had a match later and it didn't make sense to have the monster truck. It's stupid. It was a dumb idea.
I want to see the monster trucks.
No,
it's not that. It's just the way execution of it was just terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's better.
Yes, you want to see them, and it made it.
But they're not shown in the way I think people wanted them to be. If I recall,
that was the problem.
Like it was just like stupid fanfare.
Yeah.
And on the roof of the building, I mean, it did not give them anything.
Pittman just got beat.
That's one of those matches where you don't care who wins.
I had all my money running on Pittman.
That kind of looks like Ishii.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, that looks like something Ishii would do. Looks like something Ishii would do. Look at Kevin Sullivan.
He's doing his best Undertaker. Yeah. He's the Flash.
Brian Pillman and Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
They're rebuilding the Four Horsemen. Fucking Mean Gene. Fucking facial expressions. So I don't know if that's really nice to say.
It made Mean, not just his voice, it's also the way he.
And he's listening intently, like, okay, I understand. I don't understand half of what you're saying, but I'm trying to understand.
The best part is you could take Mean Gene and put him in literally he could be a math teacher. He could be a science professor. He's got this a look that's just unassuming.
Yeah.
But he just does such a great job at fucking any of these. Well, it's backstage probably, but it's in stage.
So we're just to let everybody know, we're at 24 minutes and 20. Oh shit. 20. Well, we're past that, but 24 minutes and.
We are at 24 minutes and 41 seconds.
Okay.
There you go. I helped you. High five.
All right. So yeah, I'm actually at 24 minutes and 48 seconds. Whatever.
Wow, maybe.
I accidentally hit the pause. Fucking hate. Fuck. Fucking shit.
I hate technology in my hands in this world.
Here, I'm going to say this right now. Arn Anderson is one of the best talkers wrestling has ever had.
Him and Ole.
Ole Anderson, just the Four Horsemen in general, all of them could talk. The mouthpiece that I would rather have had. I mean, yes, Rick was fantastic, but he would fly off on tangents and just woo. But as a straight talker, when he's talking to somebody, instead of staying on point, Arn Anderson is by far the best.
Oh God, American males.
Hey, it's us, basement.
They need a better picture for the Taskmaster.
Yeah, he looks like.
It looks like he just got axed in the head.
It looks like he's getting
in a B horror movie.
It looks like he's getting a blowjob from a fucking woman that has fucking braces all over her teeth.
No, oh, not this again, Ric Flair. See, for all those people that hate on WWE for being like Roman Reigns, remember? This is like the third time I've seen this shit. This is back in the day.
Yeah, but they don't.
Ric Flair, where are you? Well, he has his ring attire on too. So what in the fuck is happening?
They don't dwell on it. This will be the last time
Yeah.
because actually the caption says that Macho Man will take on the Dungeon of Doom, the Taskmaster, or is it Lex Luger? Oh, here he comes! Here he comes! And at the time, Kevin Sullivan was the booker. He booked the matches.
He booked his own divorce.
He's got Taz's entrance.
Yes, he does.
He booked his.
So these people touched him. His entrance is great.
The dude slapped him.
Look
he
at
almost-
grabbing his robes and shit. Holy fuck. No sold everything. What a good fucking sport. He started
Right.
windmilling on his way in.
He Did you say he booked his own divorce?
Yes.
Yeah, he booked an angle with his divorce on TV, and that came true.
Well, I don't think he
Leo.
booked his own divorce. He
He booked
actually
the angle.
they were already divorced or getting divorced.
I don't know. I don't personally care.
No, me neither.
But still, Macho Man Randy Savage, Sasha Banks. I mean, Bailey. One of them. I think they're
No,
both
Bailey,
homage to
Bailey,
the point.
Bailey.
I mean, for having Macho Man is like your. She has zero of his charisma.
He's always been
Just
that
like-
way, though.
Yep.
I love the way he looked. I didn't care for the way he spoke. She
Right.
speaks like she's a step away from like going under for like dental surgery.
Here's the Zodiac
Okay, where did he come from?
backstage. Brutus,
Does
the
he have a
bar.
little unicorn
What the
horn?
fuck are these two doing? What are they doing? What? What? What?
I think he's like a chicken. That's part of his fucking gimmick.
Brutus, the fucking barber beefcake. That's who that is.
I don't know why this is allowed, but whatever.
He's got a unicorn thingy.
I know.
He's the New Day. For the New Day, but it's the New Day.
Jimmy Neutron.
Kevin Sullivan was a tough son of a bitch, though. He fucking no sold a lot. Like, look at him. He just fucking Randy Savage is punching him. He's just like no selling it.
I still don't get Jimmy is just wearing the I should not gonna work.
This is how I work. Nobody can tell me how.
Right?
Let me stare up at the ceiling. Where's my hood?
Look at the way he walked.
Pick up his one?
The way he was given the clothesline, it kind of reminds me of Dino Bravo a little bit.
It just. He looks like he aged prematurely.
Should see him now. Holy shit.
Benjamin Button.
Kevin Sullivan is like he's not young. He's like pretty fucking old here. Like in his
Well, he's working for Impact now.
yeah. I wonder how
Well,
that.
he doesn't. He's not looking young. I'll tell you that.
I wonder how that booking is going.
He's an audience member for the tropes.
You said he's the one booking right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that why he's featured so much?
I wouldn't say it's the reason that he's featured. His faction is featured a lot because they were the heels. They were the main heels. That faction was they were the main heels on WCW because they didn't have the Horsemen at the time. The Horsemen had broke up.
I have yet to understand why people hated them. They just seem to come out and do stupid shit that
Right.
nobody can understand. Not Jimmy Neutron. Okay, well, disqualified.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to be disqualified. Fuck's sakes.
Ring the bell. Macho Man Randy Savage has been disqualified. Now Macho Man Randy Savage is going to bury the entire faction.
Double elbow drop. Or single elbow drop. Oh, God.
Oh, here comes. Well, it's a big show.
Dun, dun,
It's
dun,
the big
dun.
slow. Dear.
This is before he became slow. The big regular speed.
This guy's just look at him. I mean, he just. I wish he could have.
And
One thing I never understood was why he fell down while he did the choke slam.
That's
It put more impact.
what I was thinking too.
I always think what hurt his choke slam was the fact that he held people up there. I know they wanted to make it look like he could because he was that big and that strong, but it just took away from the move's fluidity.
What the fuck is this asshole?
I don't know.
He's dead though, so it doesn't matter.
I liked his choke slam. It's a.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just never understood why he.
I don't like his choke slam.
Yeah.
You don't?
No.
It had more.
I don't like the hold. I'm okay with him falling with it, but I don't like how he holds most people up there.
Yeah, no, I get it. Here comes the Das Wunder kid.
Dead.
He's humping him now.
Bear hug. I
Oh,
would
that was a
want bear hug for him.
nice. That was a nice. Or what would you call that? Bear hug slam.
It was like a bear hug slam.
Yeah.
Not really a move you ever see, but it was.
Here comes Lex
Looks good
Luger.
for the guy that's that big.
Take his sweet ass time getting to the ring.
Lex Luger's got to take his time getting to the fucking ring. Nice. I don't mind his choke slam.
I feel like his choke slam, just like all choke slams, though, are more dependent on the person selling them.
Yeah.
But again, I don't like the
I do wish when he got to WWE, he would have done something like that, though. He did the choke slam, but I miss when he, like you guys said, it was cool when he
It just
would
seemed
like
like
follow
it
him
had
down.
more
I guess you
impact.
could say.
I do agree with Basement. I don't know why he held it up there. He didn't need to.
Well, I think they told him to show his strength. So as he does more and more, he does it less because I guess he doesn't have the lasting power to continue to hold fucking 280-pound dudes up there.
Right.
But he did it a lot in WWE too when he went there. And I hated when they changed his finisher to the final cut or whatever the fuck that garbage was.
Yeah.
It's like, man, he's a big dude. Make him a big man finisher.
Agreed.
He should have always kept the chokeslam as his finisher. The guy's 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Are you trying to quit his knockout punch base?
He did the final cut first for a while, and then he did the knockout punch. Both of those, I think, could go to the wayside.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, the leg drop.
I don't know if it was called the final cut, but that's technically what it was.
No, it was.
Yeah.
Stupid turn around and clothesline him from a lying position or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. Here comes Mang with the big fucking Dongus hat.
Yeah.
Big Dongus! He didn't have it though this time.
Oh, he's not wearing it, but here comes Meng. He's part of the fucking Dungeon of Doom too. Oh, that's right. Okay, so Lex Luger and Meng are having a match.
Yes.
Okay. This is one thing that I never understood. Meng didn't need fucking people to beat up the guy for him. He could do it himself.
Yeah.
This guy was a legit badass, or well, he still is, but because he's in New Japan. His son is Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. That's who his kids are. Well, Tonga Loa or Tama Tonga are adopted, but they're cousins. They're related. He
Well, they
adopted
look like
Haku.
the exact same.
He adopted one of the two, but they're literally related.
So one thing is better off adopting rather than having.
Say it again.
He was better off adopting. He was just going to go into the system. Better to keep it with family
Yeah. Well,
in situations like that.
Oof. Pile driver.
Yep.
Bobbitt just dropped off the call. I don't know why.
I think it's really cracked out. Usually the reason they're not.
Yeah. Meng.
No. Most of those Samoan sons of bitches are hard bastards, man.
Oh,
I wouldn't
absolutely.
fuck with any of them.
Actually, he is from the island. He's not from Samoa. What?
But he's close enough. Is he close
Isn't
enough?
he actually from like Netherlands or something like that?
No. He's from an island. I just can't. I want to say it's
New Zealand?
Moana.
He's actually from Hawaii.
Yeah, it's close enough, isn't it? I guess it depends who he's raised with, but he seems to be raised within the wrestling sphere, so he's probably like been around those guys a lot.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason they have the wrestling prestige they do.
Right.
Wrestling wasn't kind to fucking people that weren't like able to fight through most of what they had back in the day.
He's from the Kingdom of Tonga.
Tonga, yeah. So it's an island. It's one of those islands over there, right around Samoa, but they're not some. They're different.
They're not considered Samoan. They're considered their own people.
But I'm sure like it's very similar. Usually when you have like islands within very similar range, and it's like I said, especially with him like being part of wrestling, I'm sure he had a lot of influence or had. I mean, oh yeah, you're not from the same island, but you're pretty goddamn close.
Oh, they did. They
take
in
him in
fact
easy.
they. If I remember correctly, didn't they have him? No, they didn't. He was never with Rikishi.
No. He was always with the Dungeon of Doom or on his own.
That's Bad Luck Fale. That's where he is. I think he's.
I thought he was from. No, he's from New Zealand.
Yes. Bad Luck Fale is New Zealand.
Okay.
He's from the bad part of New Zealand. I don't know where that is, but I'm sure it's one part.
I will say this: Haku does not look like he's aged much, even though he has aged.
He's a badass man. I fucking love Mank. He's one of the great heels. He's another one of those guys that I don't know why they never gave him a shot at a title. At least a shot. What's up, Bobbitt? Did you drop off the call for a reason, or did your internet die?
I saw a raindrop, so I had to unplug everything.
You saw what?
A raindrop, so I had to unplug everything.
A raindrop.
I had to reset my router.
Okay. Trek's never gonna live that one.
Nope.
He's not necessarily wrong, but buy a surge protector and then unplug everything. I've never unplugged anything, and I've never had a problem. That's all I'm saying.
Me.
Like, I know it can happen, but so can being hit by a car. Doesn't mean I'm not going to fucking drive.
Doesn't mean that I'm not going to walk down the middle of the street.
Oh my god! I almost hit some guy today. Actually, skateboarding at 11 o'clock in the night, wearing all black.
Oh
On
my
the
God.
What's wrong with you, man?
He was drinking.
No, I was skateboarding pretty good.
No, he was skateboarding, but high off his ass.
But on the street, like I know it's impossible to skateboard on the sidewalk because of all the ridges and shit like that. It's just like fucking go to a place where traffic isn't. On a dead parking lot or something.
Rather than the middle of the road.
Right. We went to Walmart today, and an Amish, I think they're Mennonite.
Yeah.
She was driving, and she just wasn't even paying any attention. She just started. She almost hit me. Almost ran over my toe. I almost punched her.
She probably would have promptly dropped on her knees and sorry, mister.
She looked at me like,
what just happened there in this match?
These two are
no clotheslined him and fell down.
These two are no selling each other. This is going to end up in a disqualification, right?
Billy the Butcher.
There's always something with WCW.
This is why they died out, man. I honestly think like they don't listen to the rules of a lot. They did like everything doesn't make sense, and then they have all these like false finishes constantly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you hear that?
Yep.
Bobby Heenan just said he left WWF.
And they censored
and they censored the F because they had to.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
American man. Nasty boys.
I knew it was coming.
Oh god, Dean Malenko, the Iceman.
That's actually the end. They were just going over some stuff.
Dean Malenko had a big fucking head. I'm not gonna lie.
He still does.
Yes, he does. My internet.
Well, I'm sure his head didn't shrink with like age, but his head is big as fuck.
I don't know what I missed. My internet died. Well, my internet didn't die, but the network died on me. I don't know what I missed.
You missed Dean Malenko.
It was just them hyping up next week.
Okay, so whatever happens next week, make a note we get Dean Malenko versus somebody next week.
Just Dean Malenko. That's it.
They didn't even say whose face it, just so Dean Malenko.
Okay.
All right, let me queue up Raw here.
All right, so Nitro ends. It was okay. The matches were meh.
The workers they had, the only good match was fucking Alex Wright versus Disco Inferno.
And that was shit.
That wasn't even a good match, really. Like it was a good showcase for Das Wonder Kid.
Das Wunder Kid?
It was a good showcase for him. Disco Inferno didn't do jack shit. That was like kind of almost a squash match, really.
Yeah.
But out of all the matches, that was the best one.
Yeah, I mean, Kurosawa versus Pitbull. Fucking shoot me in the face and let me.
They're building
shoot me in the face.
But if you see they're building to Halloween Havoc, the main event is Hulk Hogan versus the Giant. The monster truck rally actually takes place at the not at the beginning. I think it takes place at the beginning of the show, if I remember correctly.
I believe so, yeah.
So, but I don't know what else is on the card. So we've got to build. But I think it happens like October, like third week in October, if I remember correctly. But we will be.
So I
watching.
would say that they did make Big Show look strong again, which was solid. The whole backstage segment with Hulk Hogan, I guess, was just to remind people he's still alive. But at the same time, it was like that whole fucking squatting the belt was really stupid.
Yes.
Right.
The best build segment was for the Big Show. I will say that they made him look real strong. But the last match, I didn't care about at all.
Right.
I guess it makes sense for Luger saying, and now I've lost multiple times, so you got to do or whatever. Like he's not making the impact I thought he might have thought he would by moving over. Because he like when we started watching that was the big move, right? That was when we started watching this. That was the big move, the acquisition of Lex Luger.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the very first episode, and it was the major pop of what is he doing here?
He was the first one to go from WWF to WCW during this transition period.
Well, when
So
they
it's surprising to see him lose.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you had Hulk Hogan and Macho Man.
Hulk Hogan had left like 2 years prior.
I know, but I'm saying when they started the weekly episodes for WCW.
Macho Man had left in 90. He left right after. He left like a couple of months after WrestleMania.
We just listened to the episode.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question, Heather.
Yes.
What are you giving this show out of 10 stars? It's tough, isn't it?
It fell so short with it. I cannot go any higher than a 3.5.
All right. Fair enough. Trek?
Yeah, I'd say like a 4. I mean, the Alex Wright match was very good, just because he can perform in disco. Disco could bump for him and stuff like that, though I don't know what the heck he was doing during half the match. The ref bumps, it just felt like there was a lot of interference, a lot of fuckery, a lot of bullshit. So I would go like a 4.
I'm going to be giving out a lot of 4.
Bobbit? Good talk. JP?
I give it a 3.
I'm going to give it a 97.8.
97.8 FM.
Because Kevin Sullivan looks like he has a fly on his forehead. I fucking look. No, I to be honest with you, I hate giving out of 10s. I really do, but you like doing them? I'll go with the 3.75.
3.75 is JP. Man, I'm gonna sit around a 3. I'm sorry, but that's like though you guys say, oh yeah, it was a good match between fucking Das Wunderkid and Disco Inferno. That wasn't a good match. It was a good showcase of a couple of his moves. The match, it could have been there. It didn't need to be, but whatever, it happened. Yeah. But if that's the best match on the card, then we got big problems. We got big fucking problems.
Right.
Pitbull, whatever the fuck his name is, the guy's running at people and shoving his face into them. He's a pile of crap. I hope he never shows up again. Big Show looks strong. That was the only reason I really gave it a 3.5, because they hyped up the Big Show, the main event for Halloween Havoc, I think, personally. And in the last match, they're doing something with Luger, so I'll give them that, even though I hate Luger, but whatever.
Right.
So if we average those all out, we give it 0 out of 10. No, we're sitting around a 3.5 as a collective unit. Do you guys mind if I go to the washroom real quickly before we start?
Go right
ahead.
I'll be right back and get you a drink.
Yep. So if you all see the Sideline, I didn't even notice it. If you all see the Sideline Study podcast, don't say, "Oh, watch the Sideline Study." It's not. Something fucking happened, and I'm not gonna restart the show. So
again,
fuck it. It should have been. It should have been this. And I want to apologize. We'll work out the kinks of this. Hey, I didn't do it. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about that.
Yes,
No.
you did.
We fixed it. Even us, even we had more problems with WCW on that one. Like I said, if you see a Sideline Study podcast, it's not the Sideline Study podcast. That's my fault. I didn't tell Heather, and I just now noticed it. I wasn't thinking.
I don't think it did either. I didn't have it even right over there and saw it.
But you said. I'm done with you. Well, we could have. I could have moved. It's been a while.
We had a botch, everybody. A major botch.
Not a major botch. It
took 2 minutes to fix it.
Well, we sat through an entire show.
45 minutes. There's another 45 minutes to go.
So whatever you do, don't skip the fucking.
I'm ready.
Don't skip the show.
What did you do? What did you do?
I didn't do it. The background. We had the Sideline Study podcast fucking graphic up for the first half
Tisk,
of the
tisk,
show.
tisk.
This is what happens when you have an infant that just will not leave shit alone. And it's a. I'm not gonna dwell. I'm gonna think.
Somehow we'll get past it. I don't know how, but somehow.
And we're stopping recording.
And we're stopping recording.
I would have to shoot you in the head with a harpoon.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, hi.
All right. So now we're getting to the Raw, the first Raw after In Your House number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know. I want them, and I don't know if they do. I have not watched this. I want them to give me an explanation as to why Owen Hart was the one that took the pin and not the two people that they had in the match at the beginning. Why did they allow Owen Hart to take the pin? That is the question that needs to be answered. What's that?
It made absolutely no sense.
No, it didn't. It didn't, and I agree with you, but I want them to explain why they did it. At least give me an explanation. It's like when Ronda Rousey got beat at WrestleMania by Becky Lynch. Where is the explanation as to why her shoulder was up?
Attention to detail. If you're going to do something that doesn't make sense, explain it, or don't do it.
Yep.
Basically.
Right.
Exactly. That's. I just want an explanation. If you can give me an explanation as to why, I will be okay with it. If you give me a stupid explanation, I'll ask another question. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm
the same way.
That's the stuff they need to fix today.
Yeah.
The attention to detail stuff. You don't have somebody take a pin that wasn't involved in something because then the questions arise. Why did that happen? Hopefully they explain that.
You don't add Drew McIntyre to the King of the Ring so he can lose in the first round unless there's a reason why.
Yes. And I don't think there's a reason why he lost.
No, they're just going to gloss over it.
So, are we ready to begin?
So ready. So hard right now.
Ready.
All right. Bobbit, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobbit's on that 3-second delay.
No, it's fine. I didn't say anything. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Just in case he shows boobies. Isn't that why it became a thing? When Janet Jackson showed her breasts?
Yep.
The Undertaker is back.
The British time code.
Why was it allowed? Why was it allowed by the referee?
See, that's the question I want answered. Just by saying he was allowed doesn't justify why.
No, that's just like a fucking. This is a cop out, man.
There we go.
This is so stupid.
Clarence Mason.
Okay, so
Oh, the excuse is just have the same match at Monday Night Raw.
Basically.
yes,
Ugh.
that's why they did it.
I'm gonna do thumbs down immediately. Negative. They're starting at -3. And they recover because that's bullshit.
Yeah, that was a bad explanation. They need to explain why.
Why
And
the
just
referee
because
allowed
the referee allowed it is not an explanation. Of course the referee allowed it, or else he wouldn't have counted fucking 3. So what kind of fucking explanation is that? I want an explanation. Was it because he was originally supposed to be part of the match, which he was? Why was Owen Hart
One way
not
or the
there?
other doesn't
See,
make
they
sense.
didn't explain why Owen Hart wasn't there. And I know what the real reason was, but still, they need to explain the reason why Owen Hart wasn't there. That would give the explanation as to why they allowed. Well, that would help. But it still doesn't help. It still don't make sense.
No, it does still makes no sense because you either replace him or you don't. Because even if he's not replaced, but someone else is standing in his place, that other person wrestled for him, they queued immediately.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean-
Nothing makes sense.
Here comes Marty Jannetty. The one thing that I do, Gorilla Monsoon said one time only. What?
Did he just run into the stairs?
I don't.
Yeah, he almost did it.
He looks like he's about to start like a jazzercise class.
Marty Jannetty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically was a walking jazzercise class.
To be honest with you, if you listen to Bruce Pritchard and his podcast, Marty Jannetty actually was the one. It wasn't always Shawn Michaels wasn't the one. It was Marty Jannetty is the one that did all the talking for them guys. So Shawn Michaels was actually the follower, not the leader. He just became, and he listened and all that shit. So then when he was actually able to, oh, here's Sonny and fucking Skip.
Body down.
Skip.
I just fucking said that.
He's on a delay, remember.
Skip versus Marty Jannetty.
And if all you don't know who Skip is, it's Chris Candido.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was an ECW person.
Original.
He
I'm
was.
not gonna say legend.
Actually,
because I don't know, I didn't
he
really care for him.
wasn't. He didn't go to ECW yet. He was actually in Ohio
He's
Valley
dead
Wrestling.
right now. Is he
He-
not?
No, he didn't start in ECW. He actually started in Ohio Valley Wrestling.
No, he I think he's dead, right?
Oh no, he is dead in real life now. Yeah,
Yeah.
he died. He died a long time ago. That's why
Yeah.
Tammy Sitch. Jesus. That's why she became fucking a drug addict and all that shit. Because she didn't know how to deal. When she lost him, it devastated her.
Yeah.
That's still no excuse why she's.
No, I agree, but it's the explanation.
There could be, I mean, I guess reasons, but yeah, it's not an excuse. Could be one of the mitigating factors.
She's the same age as me.
Yeah.
Get to look at her. You know.
She is the exact same age as me. So I think I'm like a couple of months older than she is. She might either that or she might.
Time
be
to
a
start
couple
your
months
porn
older.
career.
Yeah.
Ow, my ankle productions.
If it wasn't for Jim Cornette, these two wouldn't. We wouldn't have never got these two. I actually, Chris Candido or Skip. He was a great worker. He's a future world champion. He died way too young.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a blood clot, I think.
He had blood clots, yes.
Yeah.
Because he got sick. He got sick and
Brother Klotz.
Yeah, you know all about it, basically.
I don't remember. I think were they in his lungs?
I think so. It was like they told him he had just had surgery and they told him not to travel, and he got a blood clot from the altitude.
Yeah.
Brother Klotz. I feel you, Chris Candido.
He was one of the reasons I liked TNA Impact before he died, because he was the manager of the Naturals. I thought he was a very good manager.
Well, a lot of former wrestlers make good managers because of the fact that they were in the rings. They know the physics and all of that.
Oh yeah.
There's the Dean.
Fucking Shane
Dean
Douglas.
He always slightly reminded me of Chris Jericho.
He reminds me of Matt Striker.
Yeah, just on the mic when he was in ECW.
Yeah, I mean, I love Shane Douglas. I love the way he talked. He had it. I don't know why he never got the push by Vince.
Well, I feel like that's why they went with him in ECW. Just like I feel like AEW is going to go with Chris Jericho.
What's that?
I feel like that's why ECW went with him for so long, as the like main mouthpiece, as the franchise of their company, which I feel like AEW is going to do with Chris Jericho.
Right.
You go with the established mouthpiece if you want to build a company. You don't go with the in-ring great wrestler.
Yeah, and that's why I think if they should go with Chris Jericho Saturday.
I think he is going to win Saturday too.
I hope if they don't, then fuck AEW.
Even if it doesn't happen and he loses, he's still going to be featured on the mic for the first couple of months as like, it doesn't make sense, but he'll be featured in the role of chasing the title, I think.
Well, I think that's why it's better to Page that he beats Page, because one,
it makes more
Page
sense.
could chase it better and he'll be more sympathetic babyface, and then two, it'll be like when Jericho beat Austin and The Rock the same night. He'll just shove that in everybody's face and he'll be the heel you want to see get his comeuppance all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's easier to book with a heel as champ, and it's not only that, it's just more interesting for the fan base.
Yep.
You can only really do face championship runs if you've been around for a bit.
Right.
Because they take, like, you have to establish that star to be that face. You can't just tell people to like a face. You have to actually give them reason to.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you don't even need to tell people to hate a heel. People will just hate a heel.
Right.
Oh, yeah. They really do not want people calling that phone number.
Well, do you want to call that phone number?
No. But it's right. They have the big old sticker over it.
Goddamn.
Well, but when they show old Nitros, they don't put the sticker over that. They just have the phone number there.
What I love is they sit there and they put that up and then they say the number over the air.
Yeah.
Right, they defeated the purpose there.
Right?
I'm shocked you haven't heard like a big beep when it happens, so they don't even get that number out.
Dead immediately.
Right?
Hit the floor, his whole body stopped moving. Talk about the OJ trial.
Fucking yeah. Come on. The famous, sir.
It's the power of the mullet.
What was that?
Oh man, so many people use that move. Like, it's not. That's a very old school top rope wrestling move.
Yes.
A punch from the top rope or whatever the fuck you want to
It's the
call it.
5-knuckle shuffle amplified.
It has a name, but I'm sure I'm not gonna look it up.
It's fist drop.
I don't understand this booking decision, but okay.
I don't know enough to understand this booking decision.
Marty Jannetty, I don't know if they have him do anything important
No.
ever again in the WWE. Oh, here we go. Oh, never mind.
But
But Chris Candido and Sonny had just got there, so it made no sense to beat them.
It was still a better match than anything I saw on Nitro, to be honest.
Oh, you're right. No, I agree. Again, I agree with the wrestling. Wrestling was good. The booking decision's kind of questionable.
I can't speak on the booking decision, but I'll trust to you too.
I mean, okay, so he arrived there. What is this, September? So it was May when he debuted, April, like after WrestleMania. So it's 5 months. But to lose to Marty Jannetty, because Marty Jannetty was really not. Once him and Shawn Michaels broke up, he kind of never really got any push of any kind. So for him to beat Chris Candido here, that didn't make sense. The wrestling again was really good, but we'll find out. We'll find out what they're doing. So I don't know.
Is this them trying
to rectify what they did, because this is them overturning the referee's decision because Owen Hart was not the recognized tag team champion.
That's what Jim Cornette is. That's what him and his lawyer are protesting because Owen Hart
was not the one recognized as a champion. It was British Bulldog recognized as a champion for that night.
That's so stupid. It should just be a DQ as soon as the guy showed up.
Exactly.
Right.
That's like unneeded. Like that's booked themselves into a corner.
But then they put the titles on Owen Hart and Yokozuna.
For some reason.
No, they weren't.
You know how pissed off you'd be if you paid for the pay-per-view? Were the pay-per-views free back then?
It was winner take all. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead, Basement. I'm sorry.
Were the pay-per-views free? Like, was it in your house free?
Was it free? No, you had to pay for it.
So if I paid for it and I saw it on Raw the next day, I would fucking lamb-blast this fucking company.
Yep.
But then again, it cost $60 back then. Pay-per-views were expensive as fuck back then. They were $60. I remember.
I remember that as well. It's just fucking.
Not everybody. Would you
not be pissed?
So, and this was before the network. Now, if they had the network back then and then they did this, yes, I could understand being pissed off because it makes no fucking sense because everybody can pretty much afford the network.
Right.
So, but them doing this tonight kind of makes sense. Because
I'm thinking the exact opposite.
Well, for those that paid to see the pay per view, yes, they should be pissed off. But for those who couldn't afford to watch the pay per view, this would be exciting for them.
I understand, but it's also like a slap in the face, kind of.
It is.
To the people that shelled out $50 to see this shit, to be like, oh, okay. Guess I should have just watched Raw.
Oh, it gets better
But you're
because
not.
later
You're
on down the
actually.
line,
You're actually
not getting.
You're not getting it. You're getting the Smoking Guns versus these guys. You're not getting Sean and Diesel. They didn't do that. But
Okay,
if
so they
would have,
they just technically overturned the decision, and that's that.
yes.
Right.
Cool.
So the referee was wrong in his decision. He shouldn't have done it.
I think it's at the next pay per view that they do that match again.
I don't know about that. We have to look at it. But so that's better. You can't. What the fuck? We're gonna see this shit.
Well, that's what they were famous for.
Owen Hart likes running the ropes. That's all I got to fucking say.
Yeah.
Well, he was called the Rocket for a reason.
Red Rocket. So I can get behind. They reversed.
I still don't like the decision to do that.
There's no real explanation behind it other than Jim Cornette's lawyer got involved.
Yeah, because it wasn't explained in a way that I could get behind. Now, maybe I would have gotten behind it back then, but now I wouldn't.
No.
and it's not like they didn't do it ever again when it comes to the Royal Rumble that Brett got screwed out of by Austin. They pretty much showed most of the match the next night on Raw, so they did that. They had a habit of doing it too.
That's why I like nowadays, like even it's a bit too late, but like when they show like highlights a lot from like WrestleMania or something, they show them in like picture form, or they used to, more than they did in like video form. So it's like, oh, this is what you missed. Wouldn't you like to have the network? Instead of being like, this is what you missed. Wouldn't you not give a shit about ever having the network?
Well, back then, I think even Bruce Pritchard said that there was some rule that if the pay-per-view company hadn't, let's say it was DirecTV, if DirecTV hadn't re-shown the pay-per-view the next night, you couldn't show video, you had to show pictures. That's right, WWE would show pictures. Like when Hogan beat Yokozuna at WrestleMania that year, they couldn't show the video of it, they could just show pictures, and then at the last second, they went...
man. They did it for a long time.
Yeah, and then once they got their new deals, then they could start doing it more and more and more. Because
now that they have
be an era where
now that they have the network, they don't have to do that.
I also feel like this might be an era where the TV deal made more money for them than the pay-per-view.
Yes.
Yep.
So they kind of have to work that in.
Excuse me, sorry. Correct. I've been up since 6 o'clock.
I mean, it's not like they went off the...
my network's screwed up. It won't.
I'm sorry, well, you know what time it is.
He couldn't take the crucifix properly. Oh, never mind. He just turned it into a Samoan drop. There is no way that guy was crucifixing him.
Well, it's not like they went out the pay-per-view without showing the final... Without going out the pay-per-view without showing the main event, had to show for free the next night on another show.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Which we'll get to that day. Go ahead, Heather. Sorry.
She's walking away.
I said, this is okay. Havoc, but they ran out of time and couldn't show the match at all.
Right.
Pretty much.
I feel like the pay-per-view, like it's so, to me, when I look at it, it's so simple. Pay-per-views are the payoffs to storylines, though you can still use them to build storylines that will pay off next pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. That's what they should be used for. Anything other than that, you're kind of fucking your audience.
That is true. Are you trying to get back in, Bobbit, or no?
It's completely fucked. There's no way.
Okay, what do you mean it's completely fucked? I don't understand what that means.
Nothing's loading, and it's acting like I gotta sign in, which hasn't said I had to yet. It's just all fucked.
Log out, log back in.
People rip on Vince's announcing, but I actually liked it.
It's all right. I mean, it's not the best.
No, but I mean, maybe I like it more because I grew up with my two announcer teams were Jesse and Vince, and then Gorilla and Bobby. So I grew up with those two guys. Maybe that's why I like
Did you
Vince's
know that
stuff more. I
Gorilla
didn't.
Monsoon got worst announcer 3 years in a row?
I saw that.
He wasn't. I mean, he wasn't great.
No.
I think the interaction between Bobby Heenan and Gorilla was great. Gorilla
Yeah.
Monsoon wasn't the greatest announcer. I
No.
liked him, but I didn't think he was the best.
I think they put him up on a pedestal because the announcing isn't so great nowadays.
It's not that the
It's
announcing
okay.
isn't so great. It's bad because it's scripted.
It's overscripted. Yeah.
It's a combination of things. It's it like this is as soon as WWE, I'm telling you, man, as soon as it became like a publicly traded company,
Yeah.
it died in
Yep.
terms of what
Yeah.
you could do with it. Certain things were no longer allowed. Certain things had to be pigeonholed. It's like if you look at any other company that's publicly traded, you have to have these advertisements. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to have time allotted to do things that you don't want to do. You can't be fully in control of everything. And that's what killed WWE wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've said that for years. People can say, "Oh, WWE needs to change." They're never going to.
Nope. What you have is what you
No.
get.
Because they are a publicly traded company and they have to do certain things in order for them to make the money that keeps them where they are.
Half the time, people are lucky to get what they get. In all honesty, like this, the sad part is like anything publicly traded like that, man. Very difficult to get 9s out of 10s, man. Like when you see a 7 out of 10 show from WWE, that is what used to be a 9 out of 10. I'm telling you, that's the zenith for what they can do.
Yeah.
Right. I was watching a video earlier today of when it was it was gonna be Survivor Series. It was Paul Heyman. They introduced Nathan Jones and Matt Morgan to Lesnar's team, and Lesnar actually cut a promo, and he got a good promo. That was like, oh my god, I'm so shocked he cut a good promo. Like Lesnar can talk. If they overscript the shit out of him, if they would let him go, it would perhaps be better.
They've
but they
let
won't
him
do
go.
it because it's traded.
Let him do
They've let him go.
wants.
And in all honesty, I don't think it's necessarily the publicly traded aspect so much for letting people go. It's more to do with the trust they have in doing that.
Right.
Because it's like, you can let people go, but they might not ever stick the point that you want. And if they don't stick the point that you want, then you can't build the storyline you want. Then people are going to have problems.
Triple H said in an interview, he said, and it was on the Stone Cold podcast, he said, we have people that work for us now. And this was back in 2015, I think. And he said, we have people that work for us that would rather be scripted
Yep.
than just letting them go. So we have superstars that would rather be scripted than.
I can see that.
And that but you can't blame WWE for that, and people still do. It's so we don't know who's scripted. Is Roman Reigns wanting to be scripted? Because if it is, that's on Roman Reigns. That ain't on WWE.
I feel like when it comes down to it, we'd have people that rather be scripted than given. The thing is, it's not that just like nobody's just let go. They always have talking points. They always have things, or else you can't build a story. If they're just let go, who knows what the fuck they're gonna say? You have to. They still have to have some sort of direction, and people would rather like have somebody write their whole direction than have them try to incorporate their natural sentences with bullet points.
Right.
And this is what NXT should be focused on. This is what NXT should have been for years.
There was a tweet put out today, and the person said Sasha Banks is a pipe bomb.
Yeah, bullshit.
What?
But also, not necessarily.
I tweeted out and I said, I don't think it was a pipe bomb. And somebody said, no, this is a pipe bomb. They put CM Punk up. I don't even think that was a pipe bomb.
But like, here's the thing.
What the timestamp are y'all on?
Wait, what did Sasha Banks even say that was pipe bomb?
Exactly. Well, nothing. I'm agreeing with that. But what I'm saying is...
The whole idea of a pipe bomb is someone... and CM Punk was not. It was perceived as such. Like, they let him say what he needs to say, obviously.
Vince told him to do it. For people to sit there and say that that was a pipe bomb, CM Punk's was a pipe bomb, it's bullshit. What? Who?
Okay. This is where, like, what is happening in this show?
27 minutes and 5 seconds, Bobbit.
The Smoking Guns win.
Thanks.
Yep.
Yes.
And they win the championship.
Yes.
And here comes these guys. But also, like, why? Nothing made sense. Nothing's making sense. Are they okay? They're lovers, I guess.
They're building a storyline for the next pay-per-view.
But were they like a faction before this?
No.
So they're just happy that they won?
Yes. They're faces. They're baby faces.
Even though technically they won the night before and didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to say makes no sense.
That's fine. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with it, but I don't know.
Unless they turn on them in like 2 seconds.
I'm trying to think what a pipe bomb would be.
Or they completely shit on the company and get shut down within the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It doesn't really happen now. It'll never happen now. It'll be on social media.
No, there's if somebody comes onto it, like if they do a shoot on somebody, that's a fucking pipe bomb.
And anytime anybody's okay, so John Cena then has dropped several because he shoots on people's real life events, I think, without them knowing.
Yes.
The Miz has been involved in that. But who knows? Maybe it's been gotten the go-ahead. I don't know for all these things. I know for a fact that when it comes down to it, CM Punk's pipe bomb was like, we're going to allow him to do this because that's where his character is going and that's what we want to get. Yeah. Sasha Banks, that is not a pipe bomb. That is 100% scripted. Sasha Banks couldn't talk herself in a paper bag. There's no way she's talking to herself like that in the ring.
Nope,
she had 5 months to learn that fucking bullshit before she's going to deliver it right.
If you want to see a pipe bomb, go back and watch when Shane Douglas won the ECW championship from Too Cold Scorpio and he just ripped the NWA. That's a pipe bomb.
No, it wasn't the ECW title. It was the NWA World Heavyweight.
That's what he said. He said
but
NWA.
that wasn't even a fucking pipe bomb. That was scripted.
The thing is, I think a pipe bomb is both. It's not necessarily scripted. There's an allowance for it to happen.
Yes.
And I think Sasha Banks. This is why I say yes. CM Punk's is a pipe bomb because there was an allowance for it to happen. They could cut his mic anytime, but they didn't. Okay. They knew what he was doing. It was premeditated. That to me is a pipe bomb. I can get behind that. Sasha Banks, no. She was told exactly what to say.
So you're saying that CM Punk's was a pipe bomb?
If CM Punk's, the thing is, if CM Punk's wasn't, there is no such thing as a pipe.
People are just saying that because of what they and everything that and like you said, everything that John Cena says is a pipe bomb. Everything that the Miz says is
the
a
way I
pipe
look at
bomb.
it is a
Everything that
pipe bomb.
Charlotte says is a fucking pipe bomb. People need to stop with the pipe bomb bullshit because
A
none
pipe
of them
bomb
are
to
pipe
me
bombs.
is it's a stupid term. Okay, bottom line is you're speaking about something that's happening in real life or is real life adjacent, like you're speaking something real in a fake environment. And that's, I guess, what people want to call a pipe bomb. If that's the case, then a lot of wrestlers have done it, not just
That's what
CM
I'm
Punk.
trying to say.
But I don't think Sasha Banks did it. I think everything she fucking said was scripted.
Yeah,
The
because
whole
they told her
goddamn
to
thing.
fucking do it. And it's the same thing with CM Punk. They told CM Punk, just go out
But
and do
I'm
it.
sure they told him to do it, but I don't think what he said was scripted. And I
No.
think Sasha Banks was scripted.
But
That's the
that's
difference.
still that's. I know it wasn't scripted, and I don't think it was. I'm just saying they told him to go out. Okay, so you're gonna go out. You're gonna shit on the fucking company, and we're gonna let you do it. And you
Here's the thing.
just went out and cut him off.
If the company was to say you're okay, if the company doesn't know and you go there and you're thinking you can go shit on the company you're working for, meanwhile they can turn off your mic at any given notice, a pipe bomb doesn't exist.
Yep.
You cannot give a pipe bomb. The only pipe bombs that exist are the truth bombs, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, that people do once they leave the company. You've got fucking Dean Ambrose saying
Moxley,
bullshit.
he'll drop a pipe
Yeah.
bomb.
Was that a pipe bomb? No, that was just his experience at the WWE.
Yep.
Or shoot
Like,
interview.
The whole mention pipe bomb is what people perceive as like a promo that was cut so close to real life, which is how most fucking promos should be done.
Exactly.
If you want a good feud, you want some entertainment, that pipe bomb should be all the fucking time, or not all the time, but at least featured a lot more than it currently is.
Agreed.
With the fan base being so interactive with the wrestlers, with the company on social media, this is the era of pipe bombs, but they don't decide to do it. They rarely do it. And Sasha Banks, I'm sorry, no.
No. I don't
No.
even close.
Not close.
That
I know they
tag
want
team-
it to be, but it's not close. She cannot. The thing is, she cannot be believable on the.
No.
She doesn't have the capability. She is no CM Punk on the mic. She is no Maverick on the mic. So I can tell when she's reciting fucking script.
No, I agree. You know what? She's not. Her and Becky just need to fight. They don't need to talk. I don't want to listen to them two fucking talk ever because it's fucking annoying.
Well, the problem is
Becky acts like she sucked on a fucking lemon and it was sour as fuck, and Sasha Banks has that I'm a schoolgirl, fucking popular girl, fucking
Valley Girl.
here's the problem.
Shut the
Neither
fuck
of
up.
these women
right.
are anywhere close to the persona they're trying to be
Yes.
on camera.
No.
I mean, you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin now. He has come to the point where he lives his persona, or he lived it before his persona was his persona.
Yeah.
Like this is what it takes, unfortunately, to be great in wrestling. You have to kind of either incorporate who your natural self is, or you have to take on a persona and change your natural self to be that way.
Right.
But neither of these women, like Sasha Banks, she's a fucking Ric Flair #2, cries after everything, constantly crying and hugging everybody. We're gonna forget about that? No, we're not, because you've ruined her by having her that way beforehand. And when it comes to Becky Lynch, she's just an awkward son of a bitch. She's got awkward humor. She's not a badass.
No. Not even
When
close.
you make two people pretending to be something they're not fight in the ring, do I have to pretend to like it?
So essentially, what we're saying is Sasha is not the boss and Becky is not the man.
Mm-hmm. Becky's just an awkward girl that really actually enjoys humor more than anything else, I think. And Sasha Banks is someone that loves wrestling, but is a complete mark. I will say Sasha Banks is better at playing the heel than Becky is at playing the badass.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just because Sasha has more experience. not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying they have to kind of live it a bit.
Actually, Becky has more experience than Sasha does.
Well, Sasha was the boss throughout her whole NXT run.
No, I mean I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying if you're talking wrestling experience, being in the business, Becky's been in the business longer than Sasha has.
No, I'm talking about experience playing that role.
Say that again, Basement?
I'm talking about experience playing that role.
Oh, yes. Oh my god, not this guy again.
Mercy.
Got that. What is that fucking guy? What's that?
Waylon Mercy. Bray Wyatt. Before Bray Wyatt was Bray Wyatt.
Oh, wait, yeah.
They also had Mabel and Bo at the entrance.
The tag team match we had before this wasn't too bad.
No.
The decision was done.
I just hated that it happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
This again. All right.
Earl Hebner tripping over his own shoe.
Yeah, he's fucking Earl Hebner getting excited.
I feel like Jim Cornette suffered from trying to be bigger than the wrestler he's promoting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a pretty good job putting his wrestler over, though.
Oh yeah.
He did, but a lot of the times it was like almost as much about him as it was the wrestler.
I mean, I don't think that was intended for him to do. He kind of had to do that. He kind of had to put himself over to get his talent over. Now, the Midnight Express, he didn't have to fucking do that ever.
They did it themselves.
They let the in-ring talent. He was their mouthpiece, which is what a manager. Jim Cornette with the Midnight Express is exactly what a manager is supposed to be for the talent. Somebody that can't, because Bobby Eaton couldn't talk on the mic, and neither could Stan or any of the other people that were there. So Jim Cornette did the talking for them, and it worked. Now you have
fuck, paralyzed.
You have Paul Heyman talking for Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar really doesn't need Paul Heyman to talk for him.
Right.
He just does.
No, but they've done it for so long that it's kind of like a necessity.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they tried to move him away and made him be a mouthpiece for other people, but people always were like, he's kind of like a Brock Lesnar guy. So
yeah.
My favorite line Lesnar ever said was, "Paul, say something stupid."
What? I don't know.
I remember that actually. The thing is, Lesnar's like he's one of those guys. You give him a talking point, just one or two, I think, because none of his feuds have ever needed more than one or two. You give him the ability to swear a little bit, gold.
Right.
I don't give a shit about your kids. Great. That's all he needs to say.
Well,
right.
Because he is that legit badass.
Yeah.
Agreed. Here comes Mabel. You don't want to.
With the Undertaker.
Yeah, he's the next one to take on.
How does Undertaker see? Is my question.
Like Cousin It.
Seriously. Belly to belly. Belly to belly.
Well, he hated that long hair, though. That's why he shaved it off. It was like, oh my god, that's sacrilege. It's like, dude, it's the guy's hair. Let him the way he wants with it. It's not like Vince got to ship it.
Well, I mean, look at Kane. He just had fake hair.
Yeah.
Hold on. You saying the Undertaker cut his hair?
Back when he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he shaved his head.
Marco's badass.
Well, that was just him trying to change things up. The show is, I see where they're going with this. This is revolving around Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash or Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the next in your house, Shawn Michaels is going to be taking on Dean Douglas, and Diesel's going to be taking on British Bulldog.
It's the faces versus the heels. Simple booking, which is good. But at the same time, it's... I don't know how you could book simply and not actually make sense of the booking you're making.
See, the smoking guns are now there. What the fuck? He's got all over.
Why does he have no shoes? Why do they have no shoes?
They were taking a shower.
I guess.
They had soap on them. They were in the shower. They threw on pants. They must have TVs in the fucking showers now.
What?
Don't bust in. They're like, "There, the Undertaker, get your ass out there."
Shut up.
Thank God I got my Levi's.
Is that when this leg drop that just happened? Is that when they broke Taker's orbital bone?
I don't think so. No, I think the
No. I don't know who the Undertaker takes on at WrestleMania 12. It's Diesel, isn't it?
Diesel, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say Raw was better in terms of in-ring, but it was still like, it was a bit of a tough night to get through on a whole. I'm going to say, like, neither really blew me away. The fact that they didn't answer the questions we had in a logical way, I think, killed me. So when I said they started at -3, I mean, they didn't really fix that.
No.
They're not going to end up at a -3 because the in-ring was too good to end up there, but, like, still.
Yeah, the in-ring was really good.
Also, it doesn't make sense for Undertaker to, like, but why?
Well, that's why he looks the way he does. Why are these people helping me?
I don't know.
I can kill each and every one of them.
I bet they're setting up the Survivor Series. Want to bet?
Probably.
Oh, I can't wait to see Last Night's in Your House, where you spent $50 to see a rematch tonight. Oh.
Okay,
All
so
right,
why did Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels
Leave the ring, just come right back in.
right?
No, this is a
Did they have to
It's
do
a
their
reboot.
fucking entrance?
Isn't this a reboot?
What the fuck is Vince doing?
This is just in your house, isn't it? I don't know what the fuck's happening. But okay, so out of 10, JP, where are you on this bad boy?
I am at 43 minutes and 47 seconds. 50, 51.
43 minutes out of 10.
43 minutes out of 10.
Pretty good. Pretty good rating. I mean, myself, personally, the in-ring was better. But because they needed to explain something that made no sense, and they didn't really, ooh, I've got to put them at the exact same grade, 3 out of 10.
Yeah?
Yeah. That just means they would have been a 6 for the in-ring alone, but they started at -3 because that made no sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I started it at a 0. Because of the in-ring, I'd give it a 5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree. I do agree that that the damn they didn't give a good enough explanation. The explanation that they did kind of half-ass it in changing, reversing the decision because, like I said at the beginning, the referee because he changed his decision, because he allowed it, that's a good decision. That's the decision. That's how you're going to explain it. Them reversing that decision makes sense. But that's all that makes sense.
Yeah, reversing the decision makes sense, but not giving like the match, like not doing a rematch because of that makes zero sense. But you know what? It is what it is. Uh, like I said before, like the in ring is this is obviously a better show than Nitro. It has been. It's just I can't sit here and love it because of the decisions, the way they tried to explain things is just really stupid. And that type of person. Trek, what are you giving this out of 10?
I will go with JP like 5.5. The in-ring action was good. I mean, it was storyline stupidity just to have negate the decision from the other night and not explain why. I mean, they pretty much just said, "Oh, Cornette threw a fit and got his lawyer involved, so they changed the decision again." It's like, come up with something better than that. You were able to do that. You've done it before. So I mean, like it's just, ugh. I mean the matches were good tonight. They're better than they were on Nitro. So I would say Raw won tonight. I would say 5.5.
I agree Raw won, but I'm not willing to give it better than Nitro just because of that. Like that was a huge thing for me in the pay-per-view, and they didn't address it. I mean, this is the same thing as I said about the last pay-per-view SummerSlam. Huge thing for me. Why is Rollins okay not being injured in this match? And they never addressed it. So
Right.
Raw is gonna suck because it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't use that time, if you're gonna do something nonsensical, use the time in the next event you have to explain why. Otherwise, don't do it because you're just dumb. It's just dumb and unbelievable. Bobbitt, what do you give this?
I can't grade it because I couldn't get to watch it.
All right, we'll give it an NA out of 10. Heather, what's up?
Do you see it?
I'm going to go 3.75.
3.75. So Raw obviously won. I think if we average them all out, we're about a 4.5 out of 10. And that's understandable. I still think Raw should have won anyway because it was the better in-ring show. And it also was telling storyline as we went on, obviously. But they didn't address the storyline that needed to be told before they skipped ahead and be like, "This is what's happening in the future. Forget the past. You didn't see it." It's
Yep.
like, what the fuck? But yeah, I mean, 4.5 is pretty much the standard today's fare for wrestling. So
Right. I agree.
I don't know, JP, take it away. Bob, it sound like Darth Vader.
You got the microphone?
Sorry.
No, it's all right. You want to mute there, Big Shooter?
No, my laptop's like 2 feet away from me.
Someone's breathing like Darth Vader.
It's Bob. It's fine.
It's not me because I don't breathe. I'm
It's
dead
just
on the inside and outside.
All right, sorry. All right, so with that being said, we're going to end it here. I want to thank everybody for showing up. It was a good show. Next week will be October 2nd of 1995. There is no pay-per-view, so it'll just be Raw and Nitro. Now, keep in mind that both Raw and Nitro are on at the same time. I think Nitro comes on like a couple minutes earlier, just because, and they talked about that in 83 weeks. So we'll probably stay on the track of watching Nitro first. They do not go to multiple hours, I think, until 1996. So just keep that in mind. Once it switches to the 2 hours, we'll do one show a week. So this is going to be but what we're trying to do is we're trying to tell our own story we're trying to explain our own Monday Night Wars.
Exactly. We're giving a more in-depth look than what they did on the network.
Even though the network did a really good job.
Yes, they did. But I'm saying we're going more in depth because we're actually rewatching.
We're doing watch-alongs, and we want you to watch along with us. You know, we're recording this. This is why we gave you the timestamps and stuff. So watch along with us. It'll be a good time. Don't forget that we have other content on this channel. We have Basement Gaming stream. Me and Basement did a Madden live stream.
Play that game.
He's talking shit, so I whooped his ass again.
I was the Dolphins, and you were who?
Oh, here we go with this
From
shit.
that
Here we go with that. We were the Dolphins. That was another shitty team. It don't matter.
Well, who was better? Who's better team?
Not really. Not that much better. Don't make excuses.
Yeah, I'm trained until I'm dead.
Yep, that's fine. We're Basement does and Heather and Trek and Gina and Bobbit. They all do a Telltale gaming stream. We do This Week in Wrestling on Fridays. So we'll be live on Friday for that. We'll be giving our predictions for AEW. There's really not much in the way of news.
Telltale's going to be live tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going live. Going live and we're going hard.
Okay. So there's that. Bobbit and Trek are working on something, doing something as well. Heather, Gina are thinking of doing something, which most of the stuff will be uploaded, not live, but please check it out. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to dislike if you don't like it. If you don't like it, please leave a comment and we'll see if we can't fix it. And I don't want to comment, well, you gotta fix the fucking, I know, I fucked up today.
Sideline 30.
So, that being said, y'all have a great night, and we will talk to you. Am I missing anything else?
Yeah.
No.
All
Just
right.
this dick, you know what I'm saying?
All right, y'all have a great night. We'll talk to you next week when we watch Raw and Nitro, October 2nd, 1995.
I got to pee so bad.
I'm breathing, motherfuckers.
Are you breathing or giving birth?